Hi, everybody. Welcome to Networking Action. My name is Ronnie. Today I have the pleasure to talk with Brendan Sparks. He is the brilliant mortgage lender with Barton Creek Lending Group, located here in Austin, Texas. Hey, Brendan, how's it going?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. How are you?
Great. I'm great. I'm super excited. So, Brendan, tell us in your words, what is it that you do?
Well, I am a residential mortgage loan originator here in Austin, 18th year this year. And my role is to structure, to navigate, to set expectations for real estate transactions that cover, your conventional purchase for single family, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, and condos. And so I spend most of my time with everything from first-time home buyers to investors. I also have the ability to fund more complicated transactions, commercial development type of financing as well.
So, what made you join Barton Creek Lending? What's your why?
Yeah, the reason I joined with Barton Creek Lending several years ago when I came out of an executive banking training program, I joined with a larger bank, and a colleague there and I became friends. His name's Jason Inman. He decided to branch out and form this company back when we were a brokerage, and sat down with me, kind of talked to me about the value of being a broker at the time over a bigger bank, sort of branch type of loan officer. And the benefits are vast. You have superior products across the board, superior facility in terms of being able to fund different types of needs. And so I bought in pretty quickly into that, and that just helped me fund construction, unique properties, traditional stuff, government loans, conventional Fannie Mae stuff. So it really kind of gave me the opportunity to have all of the lending tools that I need in one little bucket, so to speak.
You said you've been in this business for almost 18 years now. You probably have a favorite customer service to tell.
You said I probably have a favorite customer service what?
Story to tell us.
Story, favorite customer service story. I have a whole entire deal sheet that I've posted in my other office where we've done some pretty incredible things. But yeah, I can tell you there's a number of wild and crazy scenarios that we've overcome. Real estate is never boring. There's always something new that you can overcome. And I can think in particular of borrowers, veterans that I've worked with where we had the wrong kind of money used for down payment initially for the earnest money, and we had to overcome that. Exceptionally high debt ratios that we were able to get, in alignment to fit loan guidelines. Challenges with international borrowers and overcoming the international date line, so to speak. Just getting the logistics of a close in Hong Kong, for example, or in Brazil. We've done all of these things, and so there's really a lot. There's not one in particular that I could say beyond that, but just overcoming the challenges. I love the challenges. And of course, I love the easy deals too, but it's the challenging ones that get your wheels turning and really leave you with a very strong satisfaction that you've done something incredible for someone.
Nice. So what is it about your specific approach that may set you apart from other lenders or brokers or?
Yeah, that's pretty easy. I spent a lot of time focusing on technical information associated with like the bond markets, the life cycle of where a mortgage starts from genesis to the very end of the transaction, and then I teach that. I spend my time very early in forming trust by having a discovery call, listening to the borrower's needs, taking notes, old school, on a piece of paper on a book that I have actually, and then breaking the process into steps so that it's manageable. That approach and listening to people and letting them know that you're listening to their needs and educating them straight up, that is massively been successful for us. We've literally been able to achieve top 10 in the marketplace in the last year as a result of that, my volume. So it's working.
You just mentioned in the past year, you still were able to gain great success. So has COVID-19 affected your business at all?
It has. It has affected the business quite a bit. In one regard, a lot of us all have the capacity to work from home, and kind of like we're doing now with this Zoom. That's become more common. See, we've worked from home for the entire time we've been a firm. We do have an office, but it's been something that you could take advantage of. And someone who is not a fan of traffic, I'm extremely more efficient using my time here at my desk. It's kind of like the most optimum work-life balance that I've ever been able to find. And so we've already been kind of settled in that mode, but many others are also kind of been thrust into that. They've been forced into that. So several changes have come about in our lending world. And, people are calling me saying, hey, I work for Dell, but I can work from home. So I kind of want to be here in Austin, but I also want to look in Port Aransas. I've always wanted to be a beach guy. That wasn't possible before because you couldn't have a primary home on the beach and drive 4 hours to work back and forth every morning and afternoon. So there's been some fundamental changes, but frankly, that along with the compounding effects of the stock market and how that affects the bond markets, for the last year, we've had rates in the twos. That's going away right now, but it's been a big driver of activity for consumers, and that's directly related to COVID. And then also this phenomenon in Austin that is just the hot market. Elon Musk calling Austin a boomtown. It truly has sort of fulfilled that prophecy. We are in a very, very big boom pattern for the next 20 years here in Austin.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Austin is constantly on the top list of cities to move to, and it's been like this for years. I moved personally to Houston almost 12 years ago now, and Austin is always there, winking at us. We have Google now. So, I'm glad to hear that, business. I know from other, conversations I had, the interest rate is very low right now, and people are constantly changing. The market is moving. Do you see any forecast in the future of some kind of like a stop or a halt, or do you think it's going to continue growing?
Yeah, well, there are headwinds. Let me say this. The headwinds that I'll mention briefly are affordability. The first-time home buyer realm is truly really around $400,000 now to buy in this market, which is pretty shocking considering several years ago when I was a first-time home buyer, we were closer to 250 or really, 180 to 250. So that's a pretty big evolution. And I think we're headed to 500K eventually in the next year, maybe year and a half as a first-time home buyer realm. So that's a headwind, affordability and newly graduated professionals, getting the income to be able to support something like that. Another headwind is supply and demand. When I refer to supply, I'm talking about housing. There's 0 days of houses available on the market. And, you go back to 12, it was still a seller's market then. We had probably 3 or 4 months worth of inventory, which just means how much time it would take to sell everything off on the MLS. So being that we're at 0 is unprecedented. And that has created a phenomenon in how people are buying, how they're appraising homes, the availability of appraisers. And frankly, a lot of these buyers coming out of other markets have a lot of cash, so they're boosting the values of the home very quickly in a way I've never seen in almost 2 decades. And then finally, interest rates. We've continued to watch inflation being the buzzword be a driver of sort of the rate rise. And getting into the weeds with that, I can certainly talk to people if they want to talk to me about what is inflation, how does it affect interest rates? Well, it very much does. It's a very, very impactful force. And I expect to see rates continue to rise based on a lot of the economic data that we're seeing every day. It is not going to be a time to sit and just wait on the sidelines to hope rates are coming back. We just don't likely see that coming, and that's been in place since February. So I think we'll only see rates continue to rise on mortgage rates.
All right. Well, I promised it was going to be a short interview, and we put beyond. Would you mind sharing with us what is the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me is a couple different ways. Actually, you can start by just shooting me an email. My email is brandon@bartoncreeklending.com, and I like to set up a call time so I can honor and sort of pay full attention to the borrower's needs and set up that first discovery call. I also have a cell phone. You can reach me on 512-796-4569. You can leave me a message or shoot me a text, but it's always most efficient to send me an email so we can set a proper time.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for dropping knowledge on us. We really need it. Thank you, everybody, for watching.